So, I am making something super fun today. My husband's super excited about it. If we have not met, my name is Brittany Morris, and I am working on increasing our family's self sustainability. And a lot of what I do right now is just learning to cook different things from scratch. My goal is to be able to replace things that we used to buy at the store, but make it better so we don't miss the original. Today I'm actually going to be making some freezer pizzas because this is one of the number one things that my husband asks for when we go to the store. And the ones that he wants are like $10 to $12 each. So it's definitely a big hit on my $400 a month goal when he wants, one a week. That's a big hit. So I'm going to be making our own and putting them in the freezer, and then going to wrap them in some plastic wrap and then some foil so that they don't get any kind of freezer burn. And then you can just bake them as normal when you're ready to eat them. So, yeah, let's get started.
Okay, we're going to get started with the crust. I'm going to start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, then 2 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast, a teaspoon and a half of sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add some of the roasted garlic powder that I made, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil with 3/4 cup warm water. I'm going to beat this with, or knead this with my bread hook in my mixer here, and wait for it to be very smooth and a nice texture. Then I'm going to cover it and let it rise for about an hour before it is ready to separate and start shaping. I'm going to finish that up right now and let it mix. Start relatively slow and then speed up as the flour is mixing in. That way you don't end up with flour everywhere. I had some flour mixing onto the sides of the pan, so I used the hook to scoop those back into the middle. And it was really wet, so I added a little bit more flour till I was happy with it. And going to wait for it to be smooth. Pull it out, add some oil to the bottom, and cover it with some plastic wrap and let it rise. Now I am shaping my pizzas. I'm going to make them the same size as the largest dinner plates that we have. So it'll be very similar to the ones that we buy at the store because those also fit on these. The first time I did this, I did put the plastic wrap down, but I didn't find it to be worth the effort because once you freeze them, they pop right off of this plate. So don't worry about adding the plastic wrap like I'm doing here because it's just not worth the effort at this stage. So I'm going to be shaping. I could make one pizza at a time, but batching is always easier. Now I'm making my pizza sauce. I'm adding tomato sauce. I have some fresh oregano that I just washed off from my garden. And I'm adding some Italian seasoning and garlic, salt, pepper, anything that really sounds good. My husband isn't a big fan of thyme. He says it tastes like mold, so I don't add anything like that. And I'm going to spread it onto my dough. The second time I made this, I did put a little bit less sauce on, but it was great both ways. I also usually pre-shred my cheese, and I just didn't get it done today before today. So I am shredding some mozzarella on there. Then I'm adding some parmesan and that is my pizza base. For my cheese pizzas, I am adding some sharp cheddar cheese on top, and that is all you need for that. And for my other ones, for my husband, I am adding a lot more. I'm adding pretty much any topping you want and make it look good. Make it something you would like. Now I have put them in the freezer overnight, so these things are solid. I'm going to wrap them in some plastic wrap to avoid any kind of freezer burn, and they just pop off this plate. I do not have the plastic wrap on these ones. They just pop right off. Still trying to figure out how to do that. I just twist the plate and that works great. See, comes right off in one big piece. Wrap it in your plastic wrap and then wrap it in some foil, and then don't forget to mark which pizza is which so you can grab the right one when you are ready to cook them. When you are ready to cook them, you're just going to preheat the oven to 400. Put these either on a wire rack or on a pan, like a cooking sheet, and put them in there for about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on which one. The crust was really thick on this one because I stuffed it with some cheese. So this one took about 30 minutes to cook. The other one took about 25 minutes to cook. So finish making sure it's very safe. Add the foil, and that is it. When I made this pizza, I added pepperoni, sausage, some jalapenos. What else? Oh, bacon. I definitely added some bacon to my husband's because he is a bacon fan. But really, you can just have fun. Make whatever you want on your pizza. Make it. It's one of the great things about making it. You can just add whatever you want. Here in this middle one, I was testing something new. I have this one pre-cooked, and it's small enough to fit onto one of our regular plates. And then I froze it. So this one is a microwavable pizza. And this one also came out really good. You microwave it for a minute to a minute and a half. And since it was pre-baked, it just comes out ready to eat at that point. I will definitely be making some more of those because they are such an easy lunch for my husband. And his brother also tried one and also loved it. So I'll definitely be making some more of those lunch pizzas. Now here is this cheese one. As you can see, I just twisted the plate and it popped right off. And I'm going to wrap it just like the other ones. And that is it. Like I said, don't forget to mark them so you know what is in your freezer without having to open them to check. And enjoy.
All right, and that is the end of it. I haven't baked them yet, so I didn't record us eating those. But I have made this exact recipe before, and it does turn out really good in the oven. We also tested the smoker because it's kind of like a big oven, and that was a big solid nope. That did not work at all. Um, so I either put it on a cooking sheet or a wire sheet, like wire thing, to make it in the oven. And it takes about 25 minutes at 400 degrees. Um, they're very obvious when they're done. Because my oven is kind of funky, I had to watch it pretty close, so I'm able to see when it's done without worrying about any mistakes. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.